The ushers will direct you. If you need special assistance during an emergency, please contact your usher. At this time, please turn off all mobile devices out of consideration for those on stage and your fellow audience members. The use of cameras and recording devices is strictly prohibited. Before we begin, we would like to take a moment to acknowledge that the University of Massachusetts Amherst was founded and built on the unceded homelands of the Pocumtuck Nation on the land of the Noahutuck community. We begin with gratitude for nearby waters and lands. We recognize these lands and waters as important relations with which we are all interconnected and depend on to sustain life and well-being. The Pocumtuck had connections with these lands for millennia. Over 400 years of colonization. When Pocumtuck peoples were displaced, many joined their Algonquian relatives to the east, south, west, and north. That includes Mashpee and Aquinnah Wampanoag, Nipmuc, Narragansett, Mohegan, Pequot, and Mohican communities, and Abenaki and other nations of the Wabanaki Confederacy. These native peoples still maintain connections and relationships of care for these lands today. We also acknowledge that the University of Massachusetts Amherst is a land-grant university. As part of the Morrill Land Grant Act, portions of land from 84 native nations west of the Mississippi were sold to provide the resources to found and build this university. As an active first step towards decolonization, we encourage you to learn more about the native nations whose homelands UMass Amherst now resides on, and the indigenous homelands on which you live and work. We also invite you to deepen your relationship to these living lands and waters. Thank you, and enjoy the program.
Macbeth. I want to welcome you all here tonight, and just a little note about the show. This show is pulled together in about 6 weeks, which is a very short amount of time to put on Shakespeare. However, I'd like to say that I have been blessed with the most incredible rehearsal team, super talented cast, and just most determined artistic team and marketing team, who have all worked long and hard hours this last month and a little bit more to produce a story that I am very proud to have my name on. I cannot express enough how incredibly grateful I am for everyone in the company, whether they're on stage or behind the scenes. I also want to thank the UMass Fine Arts Center, who has provided us with this space to perform in, as well as a build shop and lots of resources to build our incredible set, which you will see very soon. Now, before we begin, I'd like to issue a content warning. There will be graphic violence, blood, flashing lights, and that cast members will be walking through the audience during the performance. After Act 3, there will be a 15-minute intermission. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Shall we three meet again, in thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the sun is done. Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth. Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
What bloody man is that? You can report as seemeth by his complaint of the revolt in the new estate.
This is the sergeant who, that's my captivity, ill-brave friend. Since you keep the knowledge of the royalists, thou just leave it.
Doubtful. It stood as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their arm. The merciless McDonald showed like a rebel's war. But also for brave Macbeth, well, he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, smoked with bloody execution. Like Battle's minion, carved out his passage till he faced the slip, which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell to him till he unseamed him from the nave to the jacks and fixed his head upon our battle.
Valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
As when sun gives his reflection, shipwrecking storms and direful thunders break. So, from that spring whence comfort seemed to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark! No sooner justice had with valor dark compelled those skipping currents to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, refurbished our new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, of sparrow's eagle or the hare the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled their strokes upon the foe. But I am faint, my gaseous cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go, get him surgeons. Who comes here?
Oh, the worthy Thane of Ross. What a haste look through his eyes. So should he look that seemed to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where Norwegian banners cloud the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict. Point against point rebellious, arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit. And to conclude, victory fell on us.
Great happiness! No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Oh, killing swine.
Sister, where thou? A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I. Aroid thee, witch, the rumped and rugged cries. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger. But in a sieve I'll thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do. I'll do, and I'll do.
Give thee a wind.
Thou kind, and I another. I myself of all the other. Look what I sea and land.
Thus to go about.
Thrice to die,
And thrice to mine.
and thrice again to make up 9. Peace! The charm's wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is called to forest? What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it. Live you? Or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me.
Speak, if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Lawns.
Oh, hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Condor.
All hail Macbeth! Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical? Or that indeed which outwardly ye show? My noble partner, you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope, that he seems rapt withal. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither begs nor fears your favor nor your hate.
Hail.
Hail.
Hail! Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Oh, not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo. Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. By Sinel's death, I know I am Thane of Cloms. How of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you.
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings,
You shall be king.
and Thane of Cawdor too. Went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. When he reads thy personal venture, the rebels fight his wonders and praises do contend, which should be thine are his.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And with an earnest of a great honor, he bade me from him to call thee Thane of Cawdor. In addition, hail, worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What, can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did lie the rebel with hidden help advantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wreck, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Gloms and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange. And oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths. Win us with honest trifles to betray us in deepest consequences. Cousins, a word I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am fain of Cawdor. If good, why will I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man, that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me without my stir. Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back, but I spoke with one who saw him die. To report that very frankly, he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like the leaving of it. He died as one that had been studied in his death. To throw away the dearest thing he owed was for a careless trifle.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Worthiest cousin, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself.
I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble one, thou hast no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee, and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
Son, kinsman, ladies, and you whose places are the nearest, know we will establish our state upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. From hence to England, and bind us thereunto.
The rest is labor, which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down, or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires, let not light see my black and deep desires.
True, worthy Banquo, he is full, so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him, whose care is gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
be in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with hail, king that shall be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, but not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou have, great Glamis, that which cries, thus thou must do if thou have it, and that which rather thou dost fears to do than wishes should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him? Who were it so would have informed for preparation.
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who almost dead for breath had scared him more than would make up his message.
Give him tidings. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access in passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the affected. Come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick light, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold. Great Glamis! Worthy Cawdor! Greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my thing. It's as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put the night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear, and all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
The air is delicate.
See, our honored hostess.
All our service at every point twice done, and then done double. We're poor and single business to contend against those honors, deep and broad, where your majesty lives our house.
Where's the thane of Cawdor? He rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath holpen to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces toward him by your leave, hostess.
If it were done, when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence, and catch with his surcease, success. But that this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then as his host, who should, against his murderer, shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim, horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now? What news?
He has almost supped. Why he left the chamber?
Hath he asked for?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk, wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeared to be the same in thine own acts and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage?
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more